Ron Harris here from MuscleDevelopment.com, wrapping up coverage of the 2018 New York Pro, brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. I'm joined by Milos the Mind Sarshev, and we're going to tell you how it all went down in a couple here divisions, starting with Classic Physique. The big controversy was last minute, Regan Grimes, supposed to be an open bodybuilder. I was looking for him, and he wasn't there. Shows up on Classic, and wow, what do you know? He won. So obviously a good move for him.
It was absolutely fantastic move, right move. I really don't know how he made a weight, because I think he has just so much muscle that I would question how he made a weight, but officially he did. You know, he dominated. I mean, he really established himself as a top runner for Olympia title. I mean, everybody knows his quality, you know, his shape aesthetics, conditioning. He's working with Chris Acedo, and I mean, he delivered it. I think if he had entered the open division, he wouldn't have such an impact, and this was the right move.
Honestly, and this is nothing against him, I don't think he would have made top 6 in the open.
You know, size-wise, yes. You know, great guys like Milan Sadek and Rafael Brandao.
Yes.
You know, phenomenal guys that didn't make a top 5. I think they both could, physique-wise, conditioning-wise, symmetry, proportion, everything else. But it was, you know, big man show, and they wouldn't really give Regan a chance in the open division, I don't think.
So definitely should mention second and third place. They were both excellent in their own rights. Divine Wilson, who had been second at the Pittsburgh show a couple weeks ago. Tremendous shape, small joints, beautiful future in the sport for that guy. And David Hoffman from Germany, who's been around for a while as a boxer. Classic Physique.
Why would you interview?
Jermaine, everybody?
I've been working out for 100 years. I've been working out for 200.
I hit almost in there, everything like you did.
Okay.
See you.
Right.
Thank you.
That was a cameo appearance.
Good
Good to see you, Jim.
I
Thank you.
never get an argument with him. He never makes eye contact.
Yeah, I'm trying to hide.
It was the right call.
So we're not going to edit that. We're just going to leave it just as is.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, David Hoffman from Germany, another guy with a bright future. He was a super heavyweight as an amateur for years, and finally turned pro. And this is a good fit for him.
Yes, symmetry, proportion, aesthetics, you know, perfect for Classic Physique. So he made the right move switching to the Classic also.
212 division. It was a kind of a nail biter. We didn't know which way it was going to go. I was leaning toward Zane Watson from Canada today. Condition. I was also, one of the things I'm most impressed with Zane, aside from the physique, which is great, presentation and posing. You know, he really puts time and effort into his posing.
Yeah, like I said in the morning, I'm a huge fan of Zane. I didn't know him until now. In a prejudging wrap-up, you know, I said that he clearly won, and then as we were watching the finals, we both agreed, like, wow, Sean really, Clarida made me believer. He appears somehow bigger, fuller. He had his round muscle bellies, and, you know, initially right away from a front relax pose, I say, wait a minute, and then as I watched more and more, you know, I actually had to say that, yeah, Sean was a good call. After the comparisons, we both said, like, he can go either way, but really, I had to correct myself and say that Sean clearly deserved it. You see, when we do this kind of wrap-up, and, you know, we're watching the show, you're doing the play-by-play, I'm you know, trying to take a picture sometimes and post it, you know, so audience can see, you know, live what is happening, and sometimes maybe you don't really pay close attention. First impression for me, Zane really dominated. Yeah. I was saying, like, a bigger guy is going to always beat you know, smaller guy if they're in the same condition. But Clarida, oh my God, he was you know, flawless tonight. And I actually think he won majority of the poses, and height, width, size-wise, I think he also, you know, beat you know, bigger guy Zane. But Zane was a very close second, and he has a huge future. So this is the only thing that we missed, you know, after prejudging wrap-up. And I say I'm you know, first one to say when I'm wrong. Sean dominated.
I mean, like you said, Sean did change. Zane probably stayed exactly the same, I think. And Sean, he was a little fuller and a little tighter. He did look better tonight to me.
It's possible because in the morning I really didn't see it that way. I also think that Zane was better this morning, but then again, you know, like, we have to again analyze it, watch it again and again. Sitting behind the judges, we pretty much have a, you know, in the best seat in the house, considering the judges are saying the same thing that we are saying. Yeah. And after the prejudging, I had Zane winning, but you know, definitely the finals, Sean deserved it. hands down.
I want to make a note. If you can see where we are, this is how far we are from the stage and the judges. So there's a whole VIP section, and then there's like another 20 feet in front of that at this particular show. So we're not as close at this show to the stage as we typically would be. So the commentaries, I hate to use it as an excuse, but it's tougher to judge the physiques from this far back as it is when you're much closer.
And again, the judges are the same line right here, you know.
Exactly.
So yeah, we saw what judges saw, and I would still say that I'm surprised that lights are not better. You know, really, this is a huge show, you know, with a great tradition, and they should probably hire some light expert and made all these guys look spectacular, because a lot of guys didn't look as good. And then I talked to some of my competitors. They said, like, up close, they're actually much better conditioned than pictures they're seeing on the internet, you know, so.
And you know, from living in California all those years, the very best lit pro show was always the Ironman.
Yes,
it was lit by Mike Neville, who was the chief photographer and co-owner of Ironman magazine. We'll never see lighting like that again.
My favorite show, yes. I think a close second was British Grand Prix. You know, they had a good lights, but Mike Neville and Ironman, I mean, bring those lights to the Olympia and every. I mean, it should be a standard. Yeah. Whatever he does, it should be, you know, patented and on stages all over the world. You know, I think.
So let's wrap it up with the division that most people came here to see, the open men's bodybuilding. Couple guys I was surprised, like Milos just said, two names, Rafael Brandao. I was really surprised he wasn't in the top 5. Milan Sadek also. Nice. Really surprised. Amazing, beautiful shape on those guys. Condition was flawless. No, they're not the biggest guys, but you know, it's not, mass isn't supposed to be the main ingredient in choosing a champion, which leads us to, so we'll go through the top 5. 5th place is John De La Rosa, which I know he had to be a little disappointed with. You know, he's 250 pounds or almost at 5'6". Pretty good shape. Condition, I wasn't overly impressed with his condition today.
I wasn't either after prejudging. I said, actually, I thought that the judge is going to place him higher, and he about landed what he deserved. You know, Josh, and for some reason, I don't think that we were mentioning Josh this morning, you know, because, Josh is a consummate professional. He's always in top condition. And now when I'm thinking back, I don't think we actually mentioned him. He is definitely. Yes. Sorry, Josh.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, yes. I mean, he is always, you know, in running, you know, for a top spot. Somehow, like, I don't know what we were doing, but we missed mentioning him. He deserved to beat John De La Rosa, in my opinion, because conditioning alone, he's not missing anything. He's hard, symmetrical, you know, and when you look at John, yeah, he has all this mass and all this shape, but condition is just not there. And I don't know. I mean, he's going to hate me for saying this over and over. He just needs to put it together, you know, because he has all the tools to place the top.
I mean, we don't talk too much about. There's two guys in the show, Akeem Williams and Lionel Backy. All the mass in the world, beautiful shape, structure. If these guys nailed their condition, wow, either one of those guys could have blown the show away, in my opinion. So get in shape, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I agree with this, but I'm going to tell you, actually, Akeem Williams was not such a bad condition. I was analyzing him this afternoon, and it's like, hold on a second. You know, he was not that off, but maybe they're penalizing him because they want him to, you know, put his so-called shit together, and showed up ripped to the pieces, because he has a mass of Ronnie Coleman at his best.
Yeah.
I mean, and he has a V taper. He has a shape, width, thickness. My God, separation as well. You know, so Akeem, really don't get discouraged. You couldn't win this contest and many other. You know,
and he was sharper this time than he was last year for sure. I'll give him the credit for that. Justin Rodriguez in 3rd place. Justin, I think he was 3rd last year too. His name was Luis Rodriguez last year. 4th? Okay, we got a 4th place confirmation over there.
He's great. I mean, I like his physique. I was criticizing him a little bit for his legs. And, you know, when you really look at legs alone, right, they're not bad. But his upper body is overpowering. You know, so on that note, you know, like we were mentioning also Juan Diesel Moral, you know, it was the same story. You know, like I think that great physique, and if you just look at legs alone without upper body, you wouldn't criticize that much. But then when you see the upper body overpowering, then you have to know that. And Justin Rodriguez, I'm happy that he made the top 3. I didn't think after prejudging he would. He deserved it, and it's only way up, you know, from here. He put some sweep on those thighs. Upper body is already almost flawless, so he can be a top contender for years to come.
Yeah. And, we said after judging that we thought Nathan had it wrapped up, and he ended up winning. But the way they were comparing him and Juan at the very end of the confirmation round, I was starting to really have doubts about which way it was going to go, only because, Juan had superior condition. He's so wide. I still like Nathan's physique better. Nathan should have been tighter for this show, but it was enough to win. I mean, the overall package, it's a combination of attributes, and he pulled it off.
Yes, I mean, I hate to say it because I like Juan New Zealand, consider him a friend. So, Milos, he criticized. For me, it was no contest, actually. I didn't think it was close. And I was even saying, Mannion was saying it's two-man show, yes. And I think they wanted to make a little drama, so audience is going to see not just one but two consecutive comparisons, which we never really do. And to make it close, but pose by pose, he was very overpowering, much wider, much greater X-frame, sweeping ties that he was exploring. I don't know if this afternoon Juan Desel was a little bit flatter, but Nathan Diashe was killing him on size, I think, in this evening. Fullness, hardness, maybe not dryness, but it was way enough to win. I mean, for me, there was, straight first place. It should go to Nathan.
And drama, and I think one thing, I'm going to throw it out there. I think the reason they kept them out there so long is Juan has been at the show many times. He's a local guy. He had so much love and support in this crowd, and had he won, I wouldn't have agreed with it necessarily, but a lot of the people in this crowd would have been very happy.
Of course. I mean, he's everybody's favorite. He's a very likable guy. Yeah. He has that beautiful physique. Every bodybuilder is a bodybuilder, but, if you're honest, you have to say, put some, work on those quads. I've been watching all these Instagram hack squats and all that stuff and always going for power and speed. No, you have to slow it down. Slow it down, put the weight on the quads, dig it out just by contracting your quads. They're going to grow. I mean, I'm not trying to be a smartass and say this, but I had several people, I have such a hard time building the legs. Quads are the easiest if you're going to really put an effort. Be honest with yourself. Go all the way down past the parallel and dig yourself out by contraction only. Your legs are going to explode. Yeah. He needed that. I mean, Diashe, like I said, had those vastus lateralis, that sweep that was just going all over the place. Yeah. And he was so full, so powerful. I actually think that he overpowered Juan even in upper body department. Yeah. Even in upper body. So they were saying Juan would be more dense from the back, but there's more meat on Nathan's back and everything else, including shoulders and arms and chest and everything else. Really, no disrespect. I'm just being objective. Yeah.
I mean, what I think Juan has that's so overpowering is that width, his clavicle width. His shoulders and back are so wide. It's not so much an illusion, but it makes him really stand out on a stage, even next to someone like Nathan, who's massive.
Yeah, but let's put the other things in perspective. Nathan is top Olympia competitor. I mean, he can stand next to anybody and give them hell. I mean, I hope he's going to bring much better conditioning because, there's, still a lot to work, for that dryness, extra sharp quad separation and everything else. I think that was happening the same thing as this morning. As he stepped on the stage, he was better, and then more he was posing, he started losing it. And if you pay attention and maybe, take pictures from beginning to the end, and when Jim Mannion started calling the second call out, I said, well, if he does a couple of more, maybe Nathan's going to lose it. It is. Whatever they're doing, I don't know, backstage, maybe, some, concussion of whatever. I heard some honey, salt, and brandy. I don't know, whatever it works. But he was very full, very wide, dense, vascular, but, not so dry.
Cool. Well, that is going to do it for our coverage of the 2018 New York Pro from musculardevelopment.com, brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Thank you so much, Milos.
Always a pleasure.
Always give us opinions and insights nobody else would have given us.
Oh, yeah, I have my opinion, and, sometimes I make mistakes, but, at least it's my honest opinion.
Exactly.
Okay.
That'll do it. Thanks for watching.